welcome to Left Night with Kendra Dawsey. And now here's your host, Kendra Dawsey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the debut of Left Night. Zach Jones, how are you doing? How much Ativan have you popped this week?
About a bushel.
Sounds good. I wish.
Yeah, hoping to stay under a hogshead. I care a lot about imperial measurement systems, so that's how I measure everything.
That sounds great. I wish I had a doctor that prescribed me that much for all of my anxiety this week. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, you just gotta get a quack.
Oh, we already have someone saying, "Shut up, Zach." Very rude.
Yeah. All
Very
right.
rude. We will not be telling anyone to shut up here. Okay? No, it's fine. All right.
So what's going on this week now, Kendra? What do you think?
Well, there's a lot on my mind. I think we all have a few things. We all know what's really going on this week. You know, this week's edition of Deep Fried Fascist Dystopia, we had an election, and millions of Americans across the nation tried and failed to ignore social media for the past 48 hours. In spite of running one of the least exciting or inspiring campaigns in history, Joe Biden is slated to win the 2020 U.S. presidential election as of tonight. So obviously, Trump is going to pull a coup. Trump has stated that he won the night of November 3rd before millions of ballots had even been counted, said he has won literally moments ago, even though Biden appears to be in the lead, and he's already sued Pennsylvania and Michigan over vote counts. So this is gearing up to be the most annoying legal battle that Aaron Sorkin will make a movie about in the future. Now, it's not unusual for an American president to orchestrate a coup, but it stands out this time because the call is coming from inside the house, okay? So I realize that the American populace may be a little unfamiliar about what to do if they're being couped, so I have a few tips for everyone at home. First thing is, don't be afraid to call it a coup. It's completely fine if you say it's a coup. No one worth your time is going to stop you and say it's only a coup if it comes from the Algerian colony in France. Otherwise, it's just government overthrow. You know, if someone who lost tries to take hold of the election, it's a coup. So I will say for everyone, if you are feeling uncertain about calling this a coup after the armed mob gathered around an election department in Arizona last night trying to get them to stop counting votes, there's a really helpful website out there called isthisacoup.com. That is www.isthisacoup.com. Where are we at now, Zach?
Well, we're somewhere between orange and light red, I think. They decided to go with that old reliable George W. Bush era threat level colors.
Oh man, so my favorite era, man.
It's a classic, but it's still not very clear.
Yeah, we are, according to the coup-o-meter, we're like right before an attempted coup. If you are ever feeling really lost in life, just look at that and then they'll like give you a few ideas about what to do. So at this point, we should probably start thinking about actions against coups, like what to do if you have a coup, 10 things you hate about coups, you know, whether that be increasing mutual aid efforts or a series of strikes. Which, to be clear, those are the types of things I would have been telling you to do about a year ago to avoid everything, all the mess that we're in, but I didn't have a Twitch show yet. So, of course, it takes a lot of organizing work and community support to start a strike. You know, it doesn't work the same way if you just shout, "I'm not working," and sit down on your couch to rewatch episodes of Catfish. But after strikes funds are set up and everyone is organized, then you get to hang out and stop making rich people richer. Yeah, regardless, it has been done before by everyday people. Stopping a coup is hard, takes a lot of time, and not nearly as fun as going back to brunch, but it's not impossible. Well, I certainly hope Trump's coup here goes as well as the one the administration tried in Venezuela earlier this year. That one was well known because some dude who had his own military company literally tweeted about the coup attempt beforehand. So our best chance to avoid a coup is if Trump tries to install Juan Guaido as president. Fingers crossed. Regardless, I think it's important to point out that we wouldn't be in this mess if the Democratic Party stopped being a bunch of cowardly nerds obsessed with rules. Am I right? If it weren't for Black and brown organizers, the Dems would be under Trump's boot and licking it. Seeing the Republican Party fight against the Democratic Party is like seeing a racist lion fight against a slightly less racist kitten. All right? Say, Zach, you know what? You know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
A child driving a car on a horse tranquilizer. That's what.
Hey, Kendra, you want to know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What is more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Stephen Miller's hairstylist.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Zach, what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
I don't know. What's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Ben Shapiro's stroke game.
Oh, you know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
I don't know, Zach. What's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Me when I'm working from home during COVID.
Hello. Hey, Zach, you want to know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
I would love to know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership.
My lungs after I get COVID.
Oh, hope not, but okay. You know what? You know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
I don't know. What is more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Not much, but I'll tell you what isn't. The guy who founded WeWork.
Oh, nice one. Hey, Zach, want to know what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Elizabeth Holmes' next big idea.
Hey, you want to know what's less incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What is more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
The New York Jets.
Ayo, I don't get that because it's.
I assure you that it's true.
Hey, Zach, what's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What is more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
The FBI stopping domestic terrorism.
Hey, you want to know the only thing that's more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
What is the only thing more incompetent than Democratic Party leadership?
Cops trying to stop a white kid with a gun.
Oh, nice. All right. And Zach, you want to know what's more incompetent or more competent than Democratic Party leadership?
I can't think that there's very many things left that are more competent than Democratic Party leadership. But why don't you tell me?
Well, last thing is my parents raising me. That's the last thing that's more competent than Democratic Party leadership. All right, everyone, we are going to cut to commercial break. Please listen up to our sponsors.
Hey folks, Zach here. Hope you're enjoying our show. I wanted to just take a quick second to shout out one of our sponsors today, Eddie's Lawn Sign Emporiums. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lawn signs, that's kind of a pre-election type of business, isn't it? Well, you couldn't be more wrong. There are plenty of reasons to have lawn signs at all points in the election cycle. For instance, maybe you're a big bandwagon type, so you wanted to see who won before you put a lawn sign out, now that you know you can get with the winning team. Maybe you're just trying to establish some sort of alternative cred, go against the grain, wanted to see who won so that you could put the loser there, show that you don't, conform to what everybody else thinks, but what some people think. Lawn signs for that too. Maybe you want to get a head start on some, joke candidates for, snuffle up against 2024. Kind of a played out joke. I wouldn't go with that one, but it's perfectly within the rules of having a lawn sign. Maybe you have some other opinion unrelated at all to electoral politics that you would like to force upon your neighbors and those who are passing by on your street. Slap a lawn sign out there. Now they got to know what you think about it. Maybe you just want to accentuate the fact that you have a lawn. You want to really flex on those apartment dwellers. They have no place to put their lawn signs. What are they going to do? Put it in a window? That would be ridiculous. Show your lawn off with your lawn sign. Maybe you want to go to a protest and hold up a protest sign, but you don't think you're there yet, so you want to gradually work your way up. You want to do a sort of a beginner thing with a lawn sign. Lawn signs exist for that reason as well. Any reason you want a lawn sign, go to eddieslawnsignemporium.com. Use promo code LEFTNIGHT to get free shipping on your lawn sign order. Or, if you prefer a cheaper option, you could just steal your neighbor's lawn sign. It doesn't matter at this point. I don't think Eddie's check is going to clear for us anyway, so we're not getting paid for this promo. Just go steal a lawn sign. Who cares?
All right, thank you. That was a great word from our sponsors. Yeah.
Great. Check still hasn't cleared, Eddie, though, so what the hell, man?
Yeah, I know, right? I want that sweet corporate money.
Right. And you know what? I don't even think that website actually works. So I think the whole thing might be a scam.
That's rude. That's rude.
Yeah.
Well, if you do want to steal a lawn sign, go ahead. They're going to be like novelty in a few years. Who knows?
Yeah, it's fun. So we're going to get into some of the fun stuff that happened this week. We're going to talk a little more loosely about all of the wacky and wild stuff that is going on right now. We're going to try to hit as many big topics as we can. But if you're in the chat right now and you think that there's something we need to cover that we are not covering, go ahead and just leave that in the comments. Let us know what you think is an important thing we got to talk about that's going on this week. But we're going to start. First and foremost, we got to talk about Donnie's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad week. Things are looking weird for old Donnie.
Yeah.
So he starts off. It was a mere 10 days ago that he was giving his supporters hypothermia and then heat stroke in sort of a home and away back and forth. I think that's kind of fun. I mean, if everything else wasn't so bad, that would be very funny.
Yeah, so 3 separate times before election day, he had a lot of supporters in closed, quarters, not wearing masks at, rallies. And then after the rallies ended, supporters were promised that they would be able to go back to their cars, and they were just freaking stranded. So there were a few 70-year-olds who had to go to the hospital because they got hypothermia. And what a strange relationship. You simp for this person and then they leave you out in the cold, right? Am I right? What a weird thing.
And it kind of rules in the fact that every person who supports Trump thinks that they are alpha, thinks that they are beyond. I mean, obviously they think they're immune to COVID. They think that they are, and then just the temperature dropped too low, and then and that, you'd think that would be a come to Jesus moment where you're oh, I'm actually not invincible, and I'm actually, I'm not the person who all of this is always about, and I can in fact be mortal. But I have fat chance on that, I think.
Yeah, white supremacy is a hell of a drug, but you still feel, even when you're on that drug, you still feel 20 degree weather outside.
Yeah.
So I haven't interviewed any of these people about how they felt after they were left outside Trump. Maybe they voted for Trump. Maybe they got hypothermia and their fingers fell off. Who knows?
Which would you rather? Would you rather be one of the people who got stranded in the cold, or one of the people who was stuck experiencing heat stroke?
I don't like the cold.
Okay.
And I've never had heat stroke. I'm gonna go with the heat stroke just because I am more annoyed when I'm cold, even though I know heat stroke is very bad.
Would it change your mind at all if I told you the people who got the heat stroke were in Tampa?
Damn. Oh God. Wait, is Tampa on the coast of Florida? Sorry,
it's in the Gulf.
Huh?
It's in the Gulf.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's on the coast, but not on the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, good to know. This is me and Zach being coastal elites and not knowing the geography of Florida. I know Miami and I know Disneyland. That's fucking it. I haven't gone anywhere else. I'd still go there, and then I'd just escape to Atlanta on a plane with heat stroke. That's my plan.
Okay. I got you. See, I'm going cold because at least then I can jog in place or something, keep myself warm. If it's too hot, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, we have a comment in the chat, unsolicited medical opinion. Heat stroke is much more deadly. That's great because I want to die. Thank you.
Yeah, you want. Now, I think the most important question that I don't think anybody has the answer to this, but how does this all end for Donnie?
That is a good question.
Let's say, all right, hypothetically, let's say we get results from Arizona and Nevada tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
By next Tuesday, is he still saying he's the winner?
He probably will. I mean, I think by
Thanksgiving, is he still saying he's the winner?
What'd you say?
By Thanksgiving, is he still saying he's the winner?
You know that man lives in his own world. I feel I mean, I don't know. I wonder if he's still on those steroids that cause like mania. Right. I mean, there's gonna, regardless of what he does, there's gonna be a lot of angry white dudes with guns who think that he's the winner, which is probably scary. The scariest part, not so much scared about the physicality of like a 70-year-old man shouting, but he inspires people to do wild stuff. So that,
there will certainly be some ambiguity, I think, because even if they tell him like it's time to go out and give your concession speech, like 2 minutes into it, his brain is gonna wave on by, and he's gonna start going off about like how he was actually wronged and how there's still a fight to be had. He won't be able to do the full concession speech. He doesn't have that type of humility. So he will give that speech, and then we'll all be like, okay, so is he giving up or not?
What's happening? Yeah. What is Mike Pence? How is he controlling Trump to do things? You know,
right. Does anybody control? And I think ultimately it's gonna because you know we are you know as leftists we have a sort of conspiratorial nature of how we understand the whole thing, and I think we're on the same page here that ultimately whether or not he has to leave depends on whether or not the Department of Defense makes him leave.
Yeah,
I think, and the Department of Defense more than anything, I think, wants to keep a stable American empire.
Yes.
And it comes down to, do they think that there will be more stability taking him out, or will there be more stability appeasing his base?
You're right.
And I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know. Yeah. I was talking with a friend. We were like, okay, what like people in a legal setting would defend Donald Trump, and like what people would not defend Donald Trump, right? So I feel like cops would totally like be on Trump's army. I don't know about the CIA or the FBI, but Trump's got the cops. The cops are gonna be like, they're gonna be the like defenders to Trump's. I don't like that person in Mad Max with the weird mask. Like that's Trump. Oh, they're gonna be the chrome dudes that like fucking those are cops.
Yeah, because I think the feds in general have like some like loyalty to this idea of the American institution, and like this sort of bogus idea of fairness. The cops don't care. The cops they don't have 90% of them voted for Trump.
Yes,
they're not going to care in the same way.
Yeah, the cops are gonna be like, oh, I want to live out the Punisher skull fantasy, and I could do that through Trump.
Right. Yeah. 100% of Punisher skulls voted for Trump. All right, we're gonna breeze through the states that are still up. We got Nevada, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona. CNN didn't call North Carolina, I saw before, but I think we're gonna pretend that. Any of those interesting to you at all? Nevada, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona? Do you have any?
Yeah, I have to say, November is real, because I feel like Nevada is just like edging us. So apparently the way that they count ballots is really complicated, and then in addition to that, they are counting all ballots that are postmarked by November 3rd. So there's going to be ballots coming in for a while, probably into November 20th, which is like, I guess a good idea for democracy, but fucking bad for my nerves. So I wish Nevada would hurry the fuck up.
You want to know my theory on Nevada?
What?
Because of all the casinos, they became so cracked down on card counting that they accidentally cracked down on all counting.
Yeah, that's what that might be. They're like, no, counting is bad.
They were so busy throwing out the card sharks that they just threw out everybody who could count.
No, everyone in Nevada can't count. No one in Nevada could count. Yeah, it's so like they are working at it, but like in 12 hours, they only got like 1% of the votes done. And it's like, does it take 12 hours? I guess apparently they have to like cross-reference each vote to make sure that the person didn't vote in person as well as like absentee. So like that's a note to Trump. People are checking that shit. I just like wish they could go quicker. I wish like Nevada could just hire like 1 million super counters, so like we could get this shit over with. I need the next like event in fascist dystopia to like feel stressed out about. You know, I'm tired of the election. What's part 2? That's my motto.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What fear have you given me lately? Yes.
What'd you say?
I said, what fear have you given me lately? I need to know.
Exactly. Like, come on, this storyline's lasting too long. Where's the adventure?
We're gonna. Here's one we got to touch on. Democrats in the Senate, big losers.
Yeah.
Losers. Oh my gosh, they should be embarrassed.
Yeah, I think the Dems lost like 4 seats at least.
Yeah.
Republicans gained 5.
Yeah.
It's sad. I think, and it's especially very weird to see the Democratic Party's that like their strategy, because there are a lot of places like Florida, which no one considers a place of democratic values or even reason, right? There's a lot of places like Florida where they voted overwhelmingly for Trump, but they also passed like a hike in minimum wage, which is not something that you like really associate with Republicans. There's also like a few wins of like very something that is considered more like left than I'm doing this and it's mirroring, but I mean more left than Democrats. So like there was like a Muslim non-binary person that was elected to Congress in Oklahoma, but the Dems are still like, oh, like, we gotta play toward the corporations. We can't be too left. And then like Amy McGrath like took a bunch of money and lost. Like it's very weird that they're trying to play to white people who like may swing or probably are swinging Republican instead of like non-white people,
Yeah. Amy McGrath, bad candidate. Respect the grift. I am respect the grift every time.
Love the grift. Great grift.
We got a quick question in the chat that I just want to cover. Somebody wants to ask the obvious question: Did the Dems make the right chance going Joe over Bernie? I don't think there's an easy answer to that question. I think there's a good reason to believe that Bernie would have had the similar backlash to what Corbyn got in the UK, where all of these sort of all of these moderate Dems would have shown their true colors and shown where they aligned and did everything they could to sabotage him. I think it's clear, though, to say that their reasoning why they thought Bernie was a bad candidate was bupkis. It was nonsense. I don't know if you have anything more to add to that.
Yeah, I think I agree. Their reasoning was ridiculous. A lot of it was like, oh, they're gonna call like him a socialist. The Democrats would call not Democrats, Republicans will call anyone a socialist. They called Biden a socialist. I was like, bitch, I wish I was voting for a communist who's going to defund the police. Yeah. That is not
senator from Delaware.
Yeah, he's from freaking Delaware. They don't even have state taxes. You think this guy is a communist?
It's basically he represented a corporate loophole.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Last question I want to cover, last topic I want to cover. Mississippi removing that Confederate battle flag from their state flag.
Yep,
good to me, right? Yeah.
Thanks, Mississippi. So all of Mississippi, in spite of their intense voter suppression in Mississippi, they have finally joined the 21st century and got rid of the Confederate flag. I am surprised white people in Mississippi were for that, honestly. But I guess it happened.
Something you may not be aware of, but Mississippi's University of Mississippi, otherwise known as Ole Miss. Which is a term for what slaves on a plantation used to call the matriarch of the plantation.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes, and they are still the Ole Miss Rebels. That's still around. They have. I was reading about the history of it today. They got rid of their Confederate rebel mascot guy and replaced him with first. They replaced him with a bear that was a rebel, and that's still kind of racist because he's still a rebel. So now he's just a shark.
A rebel shark?
Yeah, I guess. And there was a move around 2009, a student petition to keep them being the rebels would be to make their mascot Admiral Akbar, the Star Wars rebel. So, which is I'm not going to say that's worse than the racist one, but it's not great.
Yeah, man. Okay, I want whatever parties are having an Old Miss, if I could have the same amount of alcohol at those parties to think that this is a good idea, I would love to have that. But that is absurd. Also, we got a Rebel Shark, Rebel Shark, that's kind of catchy. That's good. Yeah, I think that's cute. But we are unfortunately running out of time here. We've had a lot of fun today. And here is Zach with some parting words for our deeply troubled nation.
Thank you. Yes, folks, I know it's been a hard week, so I felt like I needed to write a speech to rally everybody, to lift up everybody's emotions, and then I got kind of sloshed on election night, and then I didn't write it, and then I checked to see if anyone won, and then I got bored and I didn't care. So I gotta give everybody some very sad news right now. We've reached an inevitable and regrettable conclusion. We are going to have another president. And I'm sure most of our audience is unhappy with this. I'm not crazy about it either. With how close the vote totals came, about 50% of all voters are going to be unhappy with this result. But there's time to heal. And I expect if we can bridge the gap and get everybody on the same side, we can come to an agreement where 100% of voters are unhappy with this. There's much uncertainty in our future. There are a few things, though, that we can say for certain. The next 4 years, we will have a doddering old sex pest for a president. He will for sure make some goofs and gaffes during interviews. He will do everything in his power to appease corporate interests. Ending a pandemic will continue to hold a backseat to making sure Christmas tree stores stay open. Immigrant children will remain caged. Insulin will cost more than most precious gems and metals. The planet will inch closer to the point of unavoidable ecological catastrophe. If he's feeling frisky, we might even get ourselves another war started. For some, these problems and their prevalence will come as a surprise. For others, they will not be very surprising because the second group actually listened to the campaign speeches. But we can look towards a brighter future. All of this is temporary. Much as the sun is setting in the creaky old neurons and synapses of the president's brain, so too shall the sun begin to set upon this decaying empire, so powerful in its need for consumption that it cannot help but consume itself. We can sit here all night playing armchair quarterback about what could have been done differently, about who could have made stops in what Midwest diner, but it's all ethereal now. Now is the time to worry less about who will be the next president of the United States and to worry more about who will be the last president of the United States. Inshallah, they will be one and the same. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here at our debut of Left Night. Thank you to my co-host, Zach, and that is our show tonight. We will be here every Thursday at 7:30. Stick around tonight for Quarantine Action Wrestling. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.